The Thomas Bryant jockstrap. Get him out of here.
How does that not indicate to you, like, hey, sometimes, like, these prospects are awesome?
Ramos, get back. They snatched that chain, boy. Get back. What's all gonna do about it? Popeye snatched that chain. Get back. We want that snack wrap. They got 3 flavors. Y'all got 1. Get back.
Who's got it better than us? Welcome to the Big Factory on the Big
How
Play
lucky are
Sports
we?
Network, presented by FanDuel. Ryan Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, Nick Pidone, Rob Watson. How fucking lucky are we? That's what Kevin Stefanski said as the Browns take down the Green Bay Packers 13-10 to get into the win column for the first time in the 2025 campaign. It comes off of the toe of Andre Schmidt, a game-winning field goal. Browns 13, Green Bay Packers 10. Who says defense doesn't win championships, guys? Wow, what a game, what an upset. Cleveland Browns, are they back?
I mean, you might need a little bit more on offense to win a Super Bowl than just 13 points. But for today, it's Victory Monday, and we are riding high. You know, here's a rule that we have here in Cleveland. And if people don't want to subscribe to this, then that's fine. Maybe the Big Factor isn't the program for you. We only get so many Victory Mondays. In a season, in our young lives as Browns fans, when you get a Victory Monday, you cherish it, you relish in it, you take a look at the good. We'll talk a little bit about the bad, because there was a good deal of that as well. But how about those Cleveland Browns?
It's so amazing, like, being there for that. You always remember those wins that they somehow pull out, because, yeah, for us, they've been few and far between as a whole, just for as long as I've been alive. But when you get those crazy days and they pull something out, you get to jump around, high-five all the fans around you, hug the people next to you. Like, it's just always an amazing feeling. You don't take it for granted.
Well, how many times have they been on the opposite end of games like that, where they're the team that has the block kick, they're the team that throws an interception? Like, they are on the losing end of that so many times. Even the late drive to get down into field goal range, how many Browns teams of old would have not been able to get that ball snapped and spiked, and the clock would have expired and the game would have been over? Like, there are so many good things that we could take away from this win. And hey, what your record says you are, and we have a win. Not every NFL team has a win. Browns have a win.
You know, say what you will about the Cleveland Browns. I think one thing you can't argue that is through the first 3 weeks, the Browns right now are the best defense in the NFL.
Without a doubt.
Yep.
Malik Collins, talking about bright spots, recorded 1.5 sacks. You saw Carson Schwarzenegger get a sack. Myles Garrett was recorded for half a sack. 5 total sacks. Guys, this D-line specifically, through 3 weeks, I mean, we're talking about historic. I mean,
Jim Schwartz going to get head coaching looks.
No
5 sacks.
overreaction. Yeah. This defense so far through 3 games, and mainly the defensive line, has legit looked historic. Jordan Love couldn't get anything going on offense. He was just pure chaos, is all I can say.
They'd be 3-0 with a bad offense.
Yeah.
If the offense was bad, the Browns would be 3-0.
If it just wasn't abysmal, we'd be 2-1 if Judkins played the first week, though, in my mind, without a doubt. And I'll start my glaze, my glaze. I got to give my guys props when they do good things. I think Andrew Berry's learned a lesson. One of the things we saw early on with him in his tenure here was that he didn't value defensive tackle and linebacker. That's where our defenses were fumbling. We had great pieces on the edge and great pieces in the secondary, but our defensive tackles and linebackers were awful. He went out and he's fixed it. He's put resources into that. Carson Schwarzenegger, Devin Bush has been playing out of his mind as a signing. Malik Collins is looking like maybe one of the best defensive tackles as far as pass rush in football. Mason Graham with a 43% rush win rate when the average is 9% amongst all D tackles. Like, they just look purely dominant. And then that makes it so when you have to double team and triple team Myles Garrett and you have such good players everywhere else that they could just dominate. It's you can't take everything away.
I think the fact that Malik Collins can dunk is one of the most insane things of all time. Yes,
that
he can
so
dunk, which
sense,
is
bro.
fucking ridiculous looking at the size of him. Just pure athleticism.
He does like Euro step. Like, his footwork and nimbleness is insane. Like, he's really an amazing football player. And then you put him next to another guy like Mason Graham, who's also nimble, quick on his feet, and just faster than the average D tackle. Like, it's just a handful when you can do 2-man stunts while you're bringing Myles Garrett off the edge. It's a nightmare.
Guys, I'm over the moon. I got to be like this rookie class. Like, listen,
if there's a quarterback in it, it's the best draft class in Browns history.
Dude,
maybe.
like, this season might suck. Like, today, like, think about this. Like, today, it's quite possible, because we can't predict and forecast the future, it's quite possible today is the highest that we may ever feel. And we're going to get into some of the negatives that we feel in that game. But I think the one thing that we should continue to take away from all of this is how good all of these rookies look. Like, you see so many cornerstones that are going to be on this team for years to come when they are ready to finally compete. Like, Harold Fannin Jr. is insane. He was dragging dudes. That's a rookie tight end that was in the Mid-American Conference last year. Like, they were linked to him throughout the entire process. Everybody wanted him. I know, Ryan, you wanted him. You guys were asking me about him when I was in Indy at the Combine. Like, they continue to find these diamond in the rough type guys. You guys hit Malik Collins, obviously, as a vet. How about Aiden Huntington? Yeah. Undrafted free agent making plays on the defensive line.
Even at fullback, he helped us score. He got a great push going on that run.
Awesome. It is absolutely awesome.
I love what I love the most, and this is something we haven't always seen with our players. One is just they all the rookies and the young guys, they haven't fallen into that Browns culture or anything that we've shown in the past. All of them kept fighting no matter how bad the game got yesterday. The effort just kept getting to be more and more. But also, like, some of the edge these guys got. I love Nick Chubb. Again, one of the greats in Browns history, but seeing Quinshon Judkins open the game up with a 7-yard run and then get in a linebacker's face and tell him, I'm going to be here all day, as a rookie, we could use some of that on the team. We need that attitude if we're going to turn things around. Like, he's scoring touchdowns, he's getting the hype, he's getting the crowd going. Like, that's something you need. We got to energize people. We need people who are going to bring the juice, the attitude, if we're going to turn things around here.
As boring as that game was offensively, seeing Quinshon Judkins nearly get triple digits on the ground was very, very important. As a matter of fact, that's the one word to say is important. It was good to see, but flip it over for the Green Bay Packers. 1.9. What does that mean? That was Josh Jacobs' average yards per carry. 16 carries, just 30 yards. A week after you limit Derrick Henry to under 30 yards. That is unbelievable. It's getting to the point where if you have a fantasy player going against the Browns defense, a running back, you got to sit him. This reminds me so much, obviously, of the defense in 2023. How good it was. They were talking about it being historic at one point. You kind of saw the wheels fall off as the season kind of melted away. I mean, you still went to the playoffs, but you know what I mean.
Yep.
You're so early in the season at 1-2 where if this defense is going to do that same thing and perhaps even better, how important is it, guys? And we'll get to the quarterback, but you have the time where it's early. It's not even October yet. If you can figure something out on offense, pair it with this defense, I'm not going to get crazy and say playoffs, but that defense is unbelievable.
You'll have a chance. You'll have a chance. If we could somehow start getting to like scoring
goosebumps.
If we could score like 17
we're
to 20 a game,
averaging 10 points a game.
You'll be in the game if you could just find an extra touchdown or two. And like you said, like the game was awful. Like we were all mad at the game for 56 minutes, and then miraculously we pull it out. And that's how it could show. It goes to show you how it could change the whole mood and how 1 week could make things look brighter when you finally get a win. But yeah, like I just don't get how you don't make a change eventually, and we'll get into it. But if you could literally find any spark, whether it's one of the two rookies or whatever, whoever it may be on offense, like this defense is just playing out of their minds. Like offenses are dumbfounded with what they're doing.
I mean, and it's a huge credit to Jim Schwartz because they were able to, and that was a big piece of coming into the season, right? We said all along the recipe for success is going to be a palatable offense and be really good on defense. Get back to that defensive form. So far, the offense has not carried their weight. Like when Kevin Stefanski, was doing his post-game speech and he said, that's why this is the greatest team sport ever. It's like, yeah, you're lucky that it's a team sport because your offense is really bad. Your offense is the worst in the National Football League by a big margin, but that defense is probably the best. Has that ever happened before? Has a team ever had the statistical worst offense and the best defense in the league? Because really that's what we're looking at right here.
That's a great question. I want to say I doubt it because to do that for 17 games
right,
with that bad of an offense is probably not possible. But I want to talk about these rookies more. Before we do that, I got to tell you about our friends at Fairway Ford. Fairway Ford, Ohio is the biggest Ford truck dealership in the entire state of Ohio. They have the largest selection of Ford F-150s and Super Duty trucks. So don't let that short drive to Canfield prevent you from saving thousands of dollars on your new dream vehicle. Over 500 vehicles in stock over at Fairway Ford. Again, your dream vehicle could be waiting, so don't let that short drive prevent you from saving thousands of dollars. Fairway Ford, the biggest Ford truck dealership, the nicest people ever meet, and they want to make deals. So go give them a visit. FairwayFordOhio.com or scan the QR code. FairwayFordOhio.com. One more time, that's FairwayFordOhio.com.
A Victory Mike Monday.
A Victory Mike Monday.
Yeah, wow.
It's going to go crazy. Guys, the bright spot, without a doubt, is the rookies. We talked about it a little bit, but we'll start here. the number 5 overall pick, the one they passed on Travis Hunter for, which we could talk about that as well, how that
trade is
yeah, that trade is looking
right
like
now.
one of the best.
But Mason Graham, guys, this
right
tweet got a lot of traction yesterday, courtesy of Seth Walder on X. Mason Graham recorded a 43% pass rush win rate against the Packers. The average for a defensive tackle, 9%. 43% pass rush win rate for Mason Graham.
You know, it's really cool. I want to throw this out there. Like, I mentioned Indy, and you guys were asking me about Harold Fannin, and like the cool thing about Indy is there's guys everywhere. Like, you see so many of these guys, and they're all wearing their college stuff. So I told you guys at the time, I was in the elevator with Mason Graham, and you know, there were a couple other media people in there from different cities, not Cleveland, and everybody's doing the quick. Have you met with the Dolphins? Have you met with the Colts? So I threw the obligatory, and he's like, yes, no, yes, you know, one word answers, so people could get their story, you know, their story out. Dolphins workout, met with defensive tackle Mason Graham. So I asked him, you know, have you met with the Browns? He's like, I have. He's like, Jim Schwartz is the man. He's like, that defense is really good, and I love the scheme. Like, it wasn't a long interaction. It was quite literally an elevator ride. But he spoke even then at the Combine about Jim Schwartz and what this defense could do for him personally. And I think we're seeing, like, Miles looks extra unstoppable this year. Mason looks like
he's ever been.
Yeah, Mason looks like a potential defensive rookie of the year candidate as a run stuffing nose tackle.
They're gonna
like,
have to give it to our
insane,
linebacker
man.
though, because he's playing like one of the best in the league. But I seeing Mason Graham play that well, especially in the pass rush, was great, because last week we saw Jim Schwartz say that Mason had been great in the run game, but he said, quote unquote, his pass rush had been 50-50-ish so far. And then to see him come out there and do that in response to your coach kind of not calling you out, but seeing like he's got room to improve here, and you respond like that immediately, like that's insane. And then you got that with Carson Schlesinger behind him.
Dude, he was a dog.
Just playing like a Pro Bowl, like looking like Luke Kuechly out there, running through Jordan Love. You just like, this is two of the biggest hits I've seen for a defense in a draft class that just is filling gaps, and you're looking like one of the best units in the league.
I'll say this, man, like the all-pro voters, you guys gotta stop throwing Bobby Wagner and stuff, like the pity votes.
This is a top linebacker in the league, and he's played 3 games, but he's that guy. He's that guy.
I mean, Carson Schlesinger, 10 total tackles, 7 solo, 1 sack. The 1 sack, that was awesome.
He flattened him.
When you're in that kind of,
and that was huge too.
Seeking missile.
Yeah, it was. You're like, do I drop back and stay in coverage? No, he didn't even think about it twice. And that's what you want. You don't want to hesitate. If you drop back, but that's fine. But then if you go after the quarterback, he didn't hesitate. And I don't know what the hell Jordan Love was doing on that to not throw that ball away. That was a mistake. Pretty uncharacteristic of him. But Carson Schlesinger has looked amazing, and just staying in that linebacker room. Devin Bush probably had maybe his best game in a Cleveland Browns uniform. You're seeing the talent there, but continuing on with the rookies, Quinshon Judkins. Man, do we need him, and it was good to see him get the run game going. We mentioned almost 100 yards. He obviously got the 1 solo touchdown for the Cleveland Browns. Boy, have we been missing a run game. I don't think we've had a 100-yard rusher in quite some time. Quinshon almost there. I got a feeling he's going to be the one that does it for the Browns.
I'm here to say it. We've been really hard on the O-line, but the blocking was about the same, but you need a running back who could find the hole. Like, the hole isn't just going to always be bright open in front of you. You walk through the gap for 4 yards. No, because all Quinshon did was make the jump cuts were impeccable. Like, his vision, I'm not even going to say it, but you know who it looked like, and he's making it work with what's there. Like, there's the O-line can't block it perfectly every play, but there's opportunities. You got to find them. And even in the pass game, I thought they held up at times on one of those sacks. Joe had like 4 or 5 seconds to throw the ball. He's holding on to it back there. But, I mean, that's what a good running back does. He single-handedly is our offense right now. We have nothing else besides him. If we can learn to play off of him or have a threat to where –
second career game.
Yeah, where the whole defense, like, they're stacking 9 in the box. This guy's finding 3-4 yards. Like, every run in the first half, I was like, these are great runs, but he's just got nowhere to go. He's finding 3-4. If you get some sort of a passing game to play off of that to lighten that box, that's when we're going to see 100-yard games where he starts ripping off bigger runs.
That's what I was going to say too, Rob, is like if you can even pretend to have a threat to throw the football more than 7 yards downfield. The safeties don't have to creep in before every single play, and that gives you a little bit also the O-line, but also Judkins, like a couple of carries on the goal line that get stuffed too. Like there's a world where you get a couple more carries in open field and you end up at 100 yards, or like your overall YPC is higher if you don't like get stuffed a couple times on the goal line. You're talking even more about how good it was compared to last week too.
He's one of those dudes that gets stronger as the game goes on.
Stefanski
as
mentioned
a running back, because like I was like, oh, he's the burst is getting more. Like it's just he keeps going and going and going, and a guy that's gonna wear it, keep giving him the ball, because it sounded like he looks to get more productive on more carries he gets. So you got to keep giving him the ball.
And
how many attempts did he have? I would have gave him 5, 6 more if he could have.
Yeah, 18. Stefanski shouted that out right after the game too. He was like, this kid like is getting better as the games go on, and that's what you're looking for out of a running back.
For like how many days?
You mentioned the vision and who it doesn't remind you. You know, we were not saying it. Dude, how about like just the power and the attitude that he runs with? Kind of reminds me of Kareem Hunt. You know, like
kind of a combo.
He really is. They might have blended both of them.
That's a good point, Rob. Because you remember Nick Chubb, like when you look at his yards per carry, if I'm not mistaken, it's highest in the fourth quarter when you need it the most. So that's amazing to see. But we'd be remiss as well. I know the Browns didn't draft him, but he's still part of the Browns rookie class this year. Andre Schmidt. Talk about a redemption. 55-yard walk-off field goal I just saw from Andre Siciliano. That's the longest walk-off field goal in Cleveland Browns franchise history. Of course, Katie York had a game winner, but this is walk-off when there's no time remaining. Talk about a redemption tour for Andre Schmidt.
Hey, man.
Still a long season to go, and it could go totally off the rails.
Yeah,
Kicking is so fickle.
But
hell, you take wins where you get them with this team.
That's the job, bro. He stepped up and he knocked it down. And weirdly enough, I honestly thought he was going to make the kick. I said they didn't come this far for him to make it. I thought if he was going to miss one, it was going to be early on from close. But he steps up, and you just, when he makes the kick and you see him take off and go do
Joe
the lead.
Batonio was hot.
Yes, like the whole team being that happy, like that camaraderie is something you love to see. And it's like, that's how you know the team, they were truly happy to see him. Like Miles runs out there, DeAndre Carter, Joel Batonio, Greg, everyone on the team they're all down there and they're just so excited. Like, that's the emotionalness of a win and like what it could do for you. And like, I hope they bottle that up and they take it with us.
Yeah.
Like, we got to keep building off this.
Put it on a t-shirt.
It felt so like similar to the 49ers game from 2 years ago, partially because you have the all one color jerseys, but like the jumping into the dog pound after the game, like I just like seeing Newsom and Schmidt and all those guys running. Like that's so cool. Like it gives you, I think for the fans too, when you're in the middle of what you know is still going to be a tough season, like Nick hinted at earlier today, like these little moments and interactions, like they do bring it closer to wanting it to be a good football team again soon.
The thing with the win too that I feel like has gone underreported is how bad they needed it. Like they needed it so badly.
8 straight losses.
You guys saw that like that video from inside the tunnel with Barry in the full suit and Kevin Stefanski and the way that they reacted after Schmidt hit that field goal. Like they needed that win, because if you lose that game, it turns into okay, now we're 0-3. We're going to Detroit, who was a game away from the Super Bowl last year. Then we got to go all the way across the pond. And you start playing when's the first game gonna come? You know, when's that gonna come? And I remember I lived through that during 1-31, and it sucks. And like as a fan, as media, like you know that like it's looming out there, and the players know too. Like if you lose one more, that gets you closer to that historic mark. And like that's something that I never want to live through again. I'm glad we cleansed that here in week 3. And that felt like just a big win that was needed so badly for everybody.
Rob, who was the brainchild? Was this Cody Dowk's artwork?
This was Cody Dawk's artwork. Guys, we were all over the kid. We got to praise him while he's up and when he does good things. I mean, hopefully this is the turning point for a great story as a kicker. Guys, celebrate Victory Monday. We don't get many of them. Go get your Holy Smith shirts. Big play. Maybe we do a giveaway for him hitting it from 55 yards. Yeah. Just stay tuned. But guys, please celebrate this win. Like we need to do it as much as we can, because we don't know how many we're gonna get.
All right, guys. Do we want to save the quarterback talk for tomorrow?
I feel like
why not both?
We kind of gotta hit it at least a little bit.
It's bad.
Okay. Up next for the Cleveland Browns, the Detroit Lions. 1-1. They played tonight against the Baltimore Ravens. Obviously, Nick, you alluded 2 years ago, a game away from the Super Bowl. They made the playoffs last year. They do lose both coordinators, but you saw what that offense is capable of. Browns defense, you can be as good as possible as they were yesterday. I don't know if you're going to limit the Lions to 13 points or 10 points, especially when you're playing on the road. I got a feeling not. Browns are going to have to score points to beat teams like the Detroit Lions. Can you bench Joe Flacco after a win like this? You know, a lot of people are saying no. I will start. I think you can. I mean, listen, that offense was absolutely putrid. There's no bones about it. Can it get worse? I don't think it can. Now, do you want to go to Dillon Gabriel and then have to go back to Joe Flacco? You know, a lot of people don't like doing that. I don't see why you can't. But Dillon Gabriel, right? Like, I mentioned how important it is to find out this early in the season in terms of if you want it to be a winning season or not. Because as good as the defense was 2023, you didn't have an answer at quarterback, and ultimately led you to falling off, getting blown out in the wild card game. Wild card. This isn't baseball. Or no, that was wild card.
Yeah, it was wild card game.
Anyway. You have to, for that defense to be as good as they are. It's almost malpractice to not try and get the offense at least a little bit on the right track. And for Dillon Gabriel, it's like, how do you look at that defense and tell them to keep putting up that effort when your offense is putting up 13 points a game? I can't do it.
Nick, if you're gonna go counter, I think you should go next. You should respond.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really. Here's my thing, right?
What are you protecting them
I don't have a genuine response. I don't. Like I agree with what Ryan's saying because you should try to identify that sooner than later. However, I just know they're not going to. Like I've completely Stefanski said after the game, Flacco's their quarterback. They're not going to. So to me, I'm not even entertaining that idea in my mind. I also think the fact that they are so adamant so early because it's looked so bad. Like they are getting 32 out of 32 quarterback play. Like it's that bad. And I'm a Joe Flacco guy. You guys know that. Like I was excited that he was going to be back. It's been that bad. They're gonna protect Dillon Gabriel. They love that kid. They drafted him in the top 100 for a reason. Do I agree with it? I don't know, not necessarily.
So my question is, what are you protecting him from?
Just from how bad the rest of the offense has been. So to Rob's point, the fact that Harold Fannin can't line up. The fact that we're in is this 3 of Cedric Tillman, and he's still running the wrong routes.
Put him on the bench.
You're dealing with all of these things. So even though Flacco looks errant passing the football, he looks like a statue in the pocket. I think you see him do things at the line of scrimmage that they obviously don't feel comfortable with Dillon Gabriel doing.
Swing me the ball. I'm ready.
Go ahead.
Me the ball. Because I don't think that's an excuse. Because I just know that Flacco's not even playing. He's not throwing accurate passes. That's one. That's all you can do. You can't run the ball. 2, on he's missing reads. He's as a veteran, you're not even reading the defense right. You got people open, he's not hitting them. People up top at the top bowl of the game, all game, we're just pointing out people every play wide open, just pissed off when we do actually get the ball. Dillon Gabriel cannot be much worse. If anything, he does the same thing, and then you could just put Joe right back in the game. But if you're worried about people not lining up in the right place, dumb it down a little bit. It's a rookie. It should be a different game plan anyway.
I think they should dumb it. I think even with it being Flacco, I think it's time to dumb it down because you clearly have people that have no idea what's going on. And by the way, the Fox broadcast, prior to the 2-minute warning, lambasted the Cleveland Browns and Kevin Stefanski that entire second half. You're first and goal at the 1-yard line. Joe Flacco has looked bad all day, and the first play call off the sheet is a pass to the backup center. It is time to strip it down. I know we all
Luke Whippler to the corner.
We all have a lot of Greg Williams memories because he was here with us at Big Play. But the one thing, when Greg took over interim head coach, him and Freddie stripped the thing down to the studs. They said we're gonna have 3 or 4 pass protections so Baker knows exactly what's going on at all times. I think that needs to happen regardless if it's Flacco or Gabriel. I don't think they're even entertaining the thought of Dillon Gabriel. I know there were reports about it this week. I know a lot of people online in their Twitter machine were, I wouldn't be surprised to see Dillon Gabriel on Sunday. Well, it looked as bad as it could possibly look, and you still didn't see it. They're protecting him.
But all he's shown is that he could go out there and protect himself. He gets the ball out quick, and he's got legs. So if there's a lane, he could go get 6-7 yards. He's accurate. I just need him to hit a couple passes.
The defense gifted you a chance to go 500 for probably the only time you'll ever be in this season.
Yep.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Against the gauntlet of a schedule.
We
They
gifted
you that. How about this? Reward them for gifting you with a potential gift of your own and giving them somewhat of a palatable offense.
But you got to think about the other side of it.
The only bad thing would be is what? Dillon Gabriel's going to go in there and maybe be a turnover machine.
And he's in
That's
just
possible.
an unmitigated nightmare.
Guess what? You go back to Joe Flacco and try to win
got to
3
see
more
it at
games.
some point, and I think that point is really like right now, like because they're not going to be able to do that every game.
The Browns
doing it.
The Browns should be thanking their lucky stars. They're not 0-3. You have a chance
you
to
got
finally.
a good special teams game. That's why you really won because it's insane. And I'm telling
in no way, shape, or form did Joe Flacco win you that game.
I get it was preseason, but that's all he showed was that he could get out there, he could make a quick throw, and he could keep the ball moving a little bit. He could run the ball forward if he needs to. He could boot out. He could move the pocket a little bit, and he could make a little bit. But he's not going to be Superman. But I don't need that. I just need some kind of basic.
Flacco rolled to the left. We joke all the time, Rob, that I'm faster than Joe Flacco. I promise you, I'm rolling around faster than Joe Flacco.
You are. He can't do any. I'm convinced.
But dude, I don't
we're
understand. I don't even think you can put him back in though. Like if you like Ryan, I actually agree about playing. No, I agree about playing Dylan Gabriel this week. First of all, but like, what is the point of putting him back in though in the first place? Like I'm not even saying you have to go to Shadur, but like if you get to the point where you already decide, okay, he's not the leader of the locker room anymore. This is not his offense. We're gonna dumb it down. Whatever. Go to Dylan Gabriel. Like you're not going to go to the playoffs this year anyways.
Well,
that's the best part.
That's why they're not doing it.
He's not going to play football passes.
Here's the best part. Zero downside. You weren't making it regardless. Yeah. What's the downside?
But he's not going to be here next year. So you're not even like, what is he doing? You're not learning about anything.
I'm saying I'll believe we need to protect the quarterbacks, the rookies, if they go out there and they're awful. And that's how you know they're not ready when they actually get in the game. You could put Joe Flacco back in at any time because he's 41. He's going to probably retire after this year, and it doesn't matter. He could be a leader without playing. Like if he'll still be a respected guy, he'll still be a vet in the locker room. He's played in the NFL for X amount of years. But it's time. He's limiting everything we do. He's scared to throw the ball downfield, which is something I've never.
I agree. I'm just saying, don't even put him back in.
I never thought I would see from him. Someone who could just throw caution to the wind before.
It's weird.
He can't move. He's playing so passive. I don't understand what I'm seeing. And maybe that's a coaching thing. Maybe he told him to do that.
It comes down to who gives you a better chance to beat the Detroit Lions. Is it Joe Flacco or is it Dylan Gabriel? I think you're going to have to go score damn near 25, 30 points. As good as the defense has been, you're playing in Detroit where they just dropped a 50 ball. Like, Dylan Gabriel at the worst is going to suck. Okay, you still lose the game, but at least I feel better going into that game where my offense is going to actually be able to maybe keep up with them because I know the answer is no.
I want to see if Dylan could be the 24th best quarterback instead of the 32nd best quarterback we're getting right now. That's all.
I mean, it's possible.
And if they're waiting for Dylan to be like the 16th best guy and that's when they think he's ready or they think he looks like a Pro Bowl, that might never come. So, like, why not? Let's just see what we have. If it looks bad, it looks bad. But still, he's a rookie. I'd give him another week. Like, if he shows some flashes. Like, Quinn Sean only had however many yards last week, but he showed flashes. Show me a couple plays. Joe Flacco is showing absolutely nothing. He's just showing negative on negative on negative. That's why we don't want to see it anymore.
You guys are wasting your breath, unfortunately.
All right, well, guys. We'll get to the negatives this week.
But you're
We'll get to the negatives this week. But right now, this has been an absolutely positive Monday. Jack, before we dive into our Guardians, got to tell you about our friends at Garage Beer. Garage Beer comes in just 2 flavors, classic light lager as well as that classic lime. No frills, no bitterness, no IPAs. It's just beer the way you want beer to taste, and that's beer-flavored beer. Scan that QR code now or go give their website a visit, drinkgaragebeer.com, to find local retailers who sell garage beer near you. One more time, that's drinkgaragebeer.com. Jack, how about those Guardians back in the playoff picture? The biggest homestand for our Cleveland Guardians in quite some time against the Detroit Tigers. Not only are they in the wild card right now, Jack, they actually have a legitimate chance, a good chance, to win the American League Central after everything that's happened this year.
Yeah, we talked about the whole year, right? No, nothing new for us here on the Big Factor. I mean, a lot of Cleveland is waking up and tuning on their television sets for the first time in 3 months. That's not the case with the good folks over here at the Big Factor. But you're right, Ryan. I mean, even though you dropped that game yesterday, it basically doesn't matter. The Tigers lose to the Braves. Shout out to Spencer Strider and the fellas. Nacho Alvarez on the Braves for getting the job done for us over the weekend. The Astros lose as well last night. The Rangers lose last night, so that keeps on going on down. Like, you're still at that point. You're tied for that last wild card spot. And yeah, we talked about, I believe it was Thursday's game before we departed from Detroit, that whoever won that game was going to win the division. The Guardians won that game. So yeah, I'm sticking by it. They're going to win the division. The thing that scares the living fuck out of me, guys, though, is I don't know if you've checked a weather report this week, but it is a whole lot of rain at Progressive Field, and just off of 2016 extra innings of the World Series, and then 2022, you get Game 5 of the ALDS pushed back an extra day because of weather. Like, that always scares me because you never know. But I think that benefits us when you do have a 6-man rotation that's been pitching as well as we have. Like, guys, these starting pitchers are ridiculous. Like, it was a stretch of what? Like, I think it's 17 games in a row now that you've gotten 2 or less earned runs from your starting starting pitchers. Like pretty much since they switched out to the 6-man rotation, it's been fantastic. And if Matt Festa didn't throw a fucking meatball right down the middle of the plate, we'd be up a game in the division.
You know, before we go any further with our Guardians, we do have to check in with big play correspondent Jason Bakey, who's not in Aruba no longer. He's back in the States, and he's live from his living room.
APJ here. I'm back from Aruba in the land. And what a huge series win over the Twins, taking 3 out of 4. They may have lost the last one, but that's okay because the Fugazi Tigers, they lost too. But we have a huge homestand coming up. And I need one thing from all you Guardians fans. Guardians fans, assemble.
Wait, the cinema on that, the slow pan.
He said the Tigers are Fugazi.
We just need
I just see the Guardians assemble.
He called the Tigers.
Fuck it, I'm going to all 6 games.
He called the Tigers Fugazi. He pulled out the Captain America shield. And he said, "Guardians fans assemble."
I think we're assembled, man.
Yeah,
we are.
Assembled.
Like you go on social media. Even yesterday during the Browns, like my timeline was guards. People are fired up about that baseball team. That's good. The weather is going to be.
The weather is real scary, Nick.
But you need to go pack that ballpark. Progressive Field needs
Bring
to
your
show
ponchos,
up.
BYOP.
You know, this season was left for dead when Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz did what they were accused of, and we still don't have clarity on that situation. The team said never say die. The team used that as a rallying point. About 2 weeks ago, Carl Willis and Stephen Vogt put their heads in the room. They decided to go with this 6-man rotation, and it has been automatic ever since. We got to get behind this team. We got to support them. And like APJ said, man, Guardians fans.
That's the thing about baseball, too, is it's not like most other sports where because of starting pitching, you can go out and beat anyone on any given day if you have good starting pitching. And when you're a team like, look at like the 2016 version of the team, where even the starters weren't that great, but they had a lineup that wasn't even that special. But outside the 2 or 3 main guys, a couple of guys get hot at the right time. Like you're seeing Bo Naylor right now. Like if you just get a couple of bats going behind Jose Ramirez, Steven Kwan hit a home run yesterday. That's encouraging as well to get him going. The bullpen's really fucking good again, guys. Like this team does have all 3 facets. If you look at starting pitching, bullpen, and timely hitting, like they got a shot if they get in.
You know, I believe last week when we were recording on Monday, the Guardians' playoff chances were about 8%.
We were talking like it was 99 last Monday, though.
Right now, according to ESPN, the Guardians have a 59% chance.
That's better than a coin flip.
You have to win 2. You have to win 2 of the games this week because you're in a situation where Boston and Detroit play each other this weekend. So someone's gonna have to win those games. They're gonna have to beat each other up. Someone's gonna lose. Like you. Man, they just can't. The worst thing that can happen, you can't just get screwed over bad by Scooble and put yourself in a bad spot.
I don't want just a taste. I want the
whole
load.
thing, the
Give
whole
me
load.
all 3 games. I don't want to hear just 2. Let's not.
Don't move these cameras lower. Everyone is hard for the guards.
Hey, bro, them young boys coming. Them young boys
coming, and we're coming, and we're going to take all 3 games against Detroit again. They know what time it is. Scooble giving up homers to Jonk. He's shook, bro.
Right.
You saw what happened to him last.
Go Guardians. We do got to take one quick break. When we get back, we're going to look at NFL Week 3, run through all the games quick, give our thoughts, and then we're going to unveil our Monday Night Football FanDuel parlay of the day. It's going to be a good one, Lions, Ravens. All right, we'll do that when we get back right here on The Big Factor. Hey, everybody, welcome back to The Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network, presented by FanDuel. Ryan Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, Nick Pannone, Rob Watson. We're going to go lightning fast, recapping around the NFL. Week 3 had some good games, had some upsets, including our Cleveland Browns. Nick, but before we do that, Saturday, we're going to be at the Lakewood Truck Park. You know, hopefully we'll be here for Guardians playoffs. You know, you never know. At this point, we thought it was no way it was happening, but mentioned 59% chance. But we're going to be there for a pregame for Ohio State coming after their bye week.
So bye week is over. Bye week's in the rear view. We're getting ready for Washington. The Buckeyes getting ready to go out to Seattle. We'll be at the Lakewood Truck Park. So come out with us. Pack the Lakewood Truck Park. It's going to be the whole Big Factor crew. Could have some special surprises for you guys as well. We'll be out there at 2:30 through 3:30 doing a little pregame factor for the Buckeyes. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. They're going to have some phenomenal drink specials as well. So come on down this Saturday, September 27th, the Lakewood Truck Park. Big Factor crew is going to be there.
Speaking of surprises, make sure you guys tune in tomorrow for a special Ohio State surprise on our show tomorrow, too. We got something special lined up for you guys.
Ooh, we're cooking on the bye week a little bit.
A player interview. But speaking of Lakewood Truck Park, I was looking at the deals they have, guys. If you're watching for somewhere to watch a Browns game, $3 Bud Light cans, $4 Twisted Tea cans, $5 Tito's call drinks, $6 neutrals, $15 Budweiser buckets, 5 of those. That's $3 a pop. All right, guys, NFL Week 3 almost in the books. We got one more game tonight, but we start here. Vikings, Bengals. Oh, boy. 48-10. Jake Browning looks like garbage, just throws picks left and right. Carson Wentz coming back, looking like 2018 form, kind of. Jordan Mason, though, 116 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. Defense for the Vikings was the story of this game, been the story of their season. Bengals fans right now can't be feeling too good.
Guys, I'm getting a little bit worried that we're somehow going to accidentally win, like, 5 or 6 games, and Jake Browning is going to suck, and we're going to get screwed out of the 4th place schedule next year.
Yeah, dude, the Bengals are bad. I mean, here's the thing, that like that's the Jake Browning experience for you. Like he could very well bounce back from that performance and be all right. Vikings are the real deal too.
We were right on Wentz ball, like not maybe even looking better. I mean,
Vikings are the team that cut Jake Browning, by the way.
Oh, really? Really? Didn't know. Well, they did it for a good reason.
Oh, he had a motivation game and did that too? Oh, you can't do that.
The corner scored more touchdowns than we did by himself. So, I mean.
Well, sticking around the AFC North, Steelers somehow get a win. New England just didn't want to win, I guess. 5 fumbles. They beat the New England Patriots 21-14. Ramondre Stevenson, Paul Blart can't hold on to the ball security. I was a bad day for the Patriots.
Travion Henderson won then if he falls.
Aaron Rodgers throws the most beautiful back shoulder balls, but I would just like to state my case that the New England Patriots should wear those jerseys for every single home game. Like I know it's not the Brady era anymore. Flip it off, go back to the red jerseys, white helmets. Those things are so sexy.
All right, guys. So the Indianapolis Colts for real, 3-0. They beat the Titans very easily, 41-20. Daniel Jones continues to lead the Colts to an undefeated season. Just threw 1 touchdown, but Jonathan Taylor in this game, 102 yards, 3 touchdowns. They rally over the Tennessee Titans 3-0 for the Indianapolis Colts.
He's healthy.
I'm still not a believer. I don't know why I've like turned into such a hater of the Indianapolis.
They haven't played anyone.
I'm a hater. I still don't believe that this is for real.
We'll wait till they get a real win. It's Tennessee with a rookie quarterback. I forgot who they played the first 2 weeks, but it wasn't good teams either. I reserve judgment. I think they're the best team in that division because it's a bad division, but nothing on the Colts, bro.
That game was Cam Ward throwing the pick in the first minute was like when you're deciding to play one more game of Madden before bed, and then you throw the pick on the first one. You're like, fuck this.
Yeah. That's what he did. Bad games. Like I got home from the game and the Seahawks are already up like 30 points, bro. Like
they had a special
4 p.m. slate yesterday was weak sauce.
Well, speaking of the AFC South,
me and Cam got a lot of cleaning done.
The most surprising 0-3 team that. The Houston Texans, guys.
No, they're bad.
They might have the worst offense in the NFL.
They're bad.
They lose 10-17 to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It's almost like they traded their own line.
Did we pick Jacksonville?
Yeah, like CJ Stroud, like what?
You
like
what
happened?
Ever since he told Caleb Williams. Yeah, ever since, bro, it's been rough, bro. It's been rough. But I think they're a good like offensive coordinator switch away out there. They go get a new guy and they get something different, but whatever they're running out there right now is terrible. But
hey, good day for Ty Dillon. Panthers, they beat the Falcons 30-0.
Michael
Penix. He should have turned the PS5 off.
I had Falcons in my Survivor and I was absolutely disgusted at what I was seeing. But I mean,
you in the Survivor?
Yeah. That was one of my picks. My other 2 were green, but that was just ridiculous. But Ted McMillan looked good. Bryce Young, whatever. I mean, the Falcons are going to play that bad. If you put up 0 points, like that's worse than Browns football. So that's
another Tampa Bay Buccaneers win, another Baker Mayfield game-winning lead drive. They escaped 29-27 on a game-winning field goal. Game wasn't really that close until the Jets blocked the field goal to take the lead. Tampa Bay got to about their 45.
Dancing on the sideline.
That was so I saw that live. I saw.
Dude, I was gonna say, he did the daisies walk that Justin Bieber does after the extra point.
Yeah, just for them to run. Like, who turned up the sliders on block kicks?
Yeah.
You knew you were losing that game. Like, I know you never tell your players this, but like in hindsight, this is so stupid. You never do an NFL game, but like this is something I do in college. Like in hindsight, I just go down at the 1 yard line.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Because you knew Baker was going to lead them to just
they should have. They should have.
You know what I mean?
Like, see if they could waste more time. But
how about Baker 2-minute drive? All the Baker bros were right. I'm gonna get that tattoo.
Those jerseys were sick too.
Emeka's hurt and still making plays, one-handed catches.
Dude,
like
he's
it's nothing.
unbelievable.
How about then like Mike Evans gonna get an MRI and then Chris Godwin's back this week? Like it's just an embarrassment of riches.
I'm planting the flag on we need to draft Carnell Tate because I now 100% believe in any wide receiver from Ohio State.
I'm fully in on that.
I'm set tackle and Carnell Tate in the first round.
What about Marvin Harrison Jr.?
I'm fully in on that.
I think he's good.
He had 2 huge drops.
But I think he's the guy that could. Maybe we should look out to see if he'll be getting traded soon. I think that could be a reclamation project like we did with Cooper and Judy.
Well, no Jane Daniels, no problem for the Commanders. Marcus Mariota leads them to a 41-24 victory over the Raiders.
Raiders are just perpetually. This is just what they
suck.
are.
Yo, but
every single year they suck.
Cleveland boy Trey Tucker.
Facts. 2 touchdowns, I believe?
Dropping a 40 ball in fantasy. He had 8, I think 150 and 3 touchdowns.
Go Bearcats.
Shout out to bro.
All right, Chargers, they get the win to move to 3-0 over the Broncos, 23-20. Justin Herbert late game heroics. They escape with a victory.
Madison Beer, MVP run. He's acting different.
He's feeling like him.
He is out of the pocket making plays like he kind of has.
It's the baddie effect in the NFL.
You
saw how
man.
it worked for Josh Allen. Now Justin Herbert, bro.
Well, Seahawks, they get the win 44-13 over a lowly Saints team. Saints drop to 0-3. 49ers.
Saints gonna have the number 1 pick.
49ers.
Shameless tanking.
49ers escape Arizona 16-15 on a game-winning field goal. Marvin Harrison Jr. we mentioned 2 huge drops for them. 49ers move to 3-0 despite a litany of injuries. That's impressive. And then Bears. Ben Johnson gets his first win. I called this one that the Bears were going to cover and beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys secondary is just absolute garbage. Yeah. CeeDee Lamb exits in the first quarter. After that, just nothing on offense.
They said it's not that bad. It's a high ankle sprain, Rob.
4 touchdowns, 0 picks for Caleb Williams. A much needed game for the sophomore. Hopefully he'll take that and run with it because he needs it. But that was the best game of his NFL career. Lastly, Chiefs Giants.
That was a snoozer.
It was a snoozer.
Stay up for that all the way?
Tyquan Thornton was the only touchdown for the Kansas.
We've been talking about him. We've been dropping gems on this show, Ryan. If people listen to what we're saying, there's some good info.
Kareem Hunt found the end zone on a 1-yard rush. Fell in with 6 minutes. This was all Chiefs. They went 22-9. Giants just nothing on offense. Is it time for Jackson Dart? I think so.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Sure. I mean, Russell Wilson hasn't been a good quarterback in like 5 years. I don't know how he continues to pull this off. His agent, whoever that is, like, give me a call. I need representation. God, he's just thieving money from multiple NFL teams. It's definitely time for Jackson Dart. By the way, Cam Scatterbo is so fun.
Yeah. Yes.
I can't help but notice.
The one thing about him though is because he always had a lot of swag. I don't like the guys who try and do 9 different touchdown celebrations in one. Like you get to the end zone, you do one thing, you don't do blah blah blah, then do like this thing.
Now there's a
weird.
crazy video of a kid from an HBCU. He he's let off some shots. He hit a home run.
No, this kid. It's an SEC game. It's a kid on Kentucky. The kid airs it out, kicks down the door, and then swings and it's a home run. And then he turns and trust falls into his teammates. It's awesome.
Well, wrapping up NFL Week 3, we got a good one Monday Night Football.
Skipped Rams Eagles. That was an insane.
Oh yeah, that was good. Nuts.
Eagles. Excuse me, I don't know how I did skip that one. I went.
NFL's red, cover the spread.
Buccaneers. Eagles. I mean, okay, couple things. The tush push may be getting a little bit out of hand.
I think it's getting banned. It's on a fast track to get banned.
They gotta start being more liberal with it, bro.
You gotta.
They're gonna screw themselves. Is what's gonna happen with the tush push because they're using it so much, and now the cheese is out there that it's impossible to call the false start. They said they were gonna enforce
People
that.
Are gonna start doing it.
It happened again. They're gonna. So you gotta stop using it as much because if you continue to use it this much, it's gonna continue to be a talking point, and then they're gonna vote on it again.
They abuse it.
Yeah, they do. They abuse it. Just QB sneak normal every now and again. You have a great offensive line and a really strong quarterback.
They could run it on 4th and 1.
The Rams completely sold that game. They had it in the bag.
I thought we cooked.
By the way, you see what happens when AJ Brown gets the ball. Boy, is he good. Wow, is he strong. They get the win. Eagles move.
Shout out to the block kick and Big Boy getting the return.
Yeah, to cover, mind you. All right, Monday Night Football. Lions visiting Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Jack, we have a Monday Night Football parlay. Do you care to take it away?
Nick?
I am so amped for this game. I'm also amped that you guys could get locked and loaded with us on FanDuel this football season. FanDuel's getting you ready with an offer you don't want to miss. New customers can bet just $5, get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. You pick a bet tonight, bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the FanDuel app. You could be like us and build parlays every day. You could bet on player props. You could ride the live lines. Whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. The NFL season is here. The only question now is, are you ready to play? Visit FanDuel.com/bigplay. Download that free FanDuel app today and get started. You got to be 21 plus and present here in Ohio. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit is required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions do apply. See full terms. Sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You know, FanDuel hands the profit boost away like they're candy, and I
There's one every week.
Every single
week.
week.
We were one catch away from cashing.
That's all right. That just means we got to bounce back on Monday
got
Night
short
Football.
on the sack either way, I think.
No, it had a check
it gave
mark.
us the half?
It had a check mark from next to the half sack.
Oh, really?
Bro.
No.
All right, Jack, what do you say we bounce back on Monday night?
Let's do it using that FanDuel Sportsbook app 50% profit boost that you just mentioned. This is coming in at plus 1964 for Monday Night Football. We're starting out. Jahmyr Gibbs over 55.5 yards, toting the rock on the ground. Nick walked in here to say, you know what he said? Sam Laporta is scoring a touchdown. So you know what's going to happen? Sam Laporta is going to score a touchdown. Jameson Williams over 40 receiving yards tonight. That Ravens secondary, not the best in the world besides Kyle Hamilton. And then last but not least, heading over to the Ravens side of the ball, Derrick Henry, Tractor Cito, the crown, put it on his head, 70 rushing yards, the all total. Once again, put them all together. Jahmyr Gibbs over 55.5 yards, Sam Laporta anytime touchdown, Jameson Williams 40 yards, and Derrick Henry 70 rushing yards.
All righty. Well, that's about all the time we have here on the Big Factor. Before we wrap up, Rob, you got a special announcement?
Everyone, make sure you turn into the Big Play Cleveland show tonight. Make sure you want to get more coverage. We got to soak in this win all the way until we turn the page tomorrow. Make sure you guys check in. Nick Padone, Gab Cruz, and Reflog, talking everything Browns. Just got a great episode for you guys tonight. We're going to be so happy celebrating the win, so you guys should too.
Rob, we've got a big guest on the program this evening as well, too. Ooh. We are bringing on Jake Reitman, who covers all things Detroit Lions, all things Detroit Tigers, as it's a big week as the Browns are getting ready for the Lions, and the guards are going to take down Detroit. So tune in Big Play Cleveland.
Really is Detroit hate week. All right, appreciate everybody tuning into the Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network, presented by FanDuel. Ryan Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, Nick Padone, Rob Watson. Shout out Fairway Ford. Shout out Garage Beer, and shout out Lakewood Truck Park. Again, we'll be there Saturday. Come watch us. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. Same people, same time. Until then, enjoy the rest of your Victory Monday. You never know when the next one's going to come, and we'll see you then. Peace out.